Cameron Brown may be the most hated father in the country. Accused of throwing his 4-year-old little girl, Lauren, off the side of a cliff just so he wouldn't have to pay a few $100 a week in child support.
You know, the innocence of a victim makes the crime that much more hideous.
And possibly the most sickening part, after Brown murdered his daughter, detectives say he went back and ate his daughter's leftover peanut butter and jelly sandwich out of her lunchbox.
I mean, to me, it puts you in the category of sociopath.
Brown maintains the only thing he is guilty of is not being able to save Lauren when she accidentally fell.
The defendant's story is a lie.
But who would the jury side with? The verdict comes in, and the prosecution is floored. The jury is deadlocked. What happened in the first trial that caused a hung jury?
There were a couple of reasons. The jurors had trouble convicting the defendant of murder when there were no eyewitnesses to say, I saw him throw her over the cliff. But I think the bigger problem with the case was just the unwillingness of some jurors to believe that a man would do this to his daughter, and in such a horrible way.
I just couldn't make sense of it. It was a huge disappointment at the time.
What do you say to Sarah?
I think I just said we weren't done. We're not done. And we'll keep fighting until we are done.
Los Angeles County Sheriff's Detective Jeff Leslie wasn't about to give up. He and his partner, Detective Danny Smith, were determined to get justice for little Lauren.
We kept working on Lauren's case and we never gave up on it.
And prosecutors say the dogged detective's tireless work on the case lands a new lead.
And after the first trial, he located additional witnesses who proved to be significant witnesses as well.
Nearly 3 years later, the district attorney decides to try Brown's case again. It's a completely different jury, but the outcome shockingly the same.
It's like, where is this jury pool? I mean, what are they thinking? And it just, I couldn't believe it.
I really wanted to have that closure in my life, but it obviously wasn't the time that was going to happen, so I just had to wait.
Did you think that there would be a third trial?
I don't think any of us were sure of that.
Detective Danny Smith decides to hang up his badge and retires. But desperate to find justice for little Lauren, Detective Leslie goes back to the DA and asks, what will it take to get a guilty verdict?
They said, you need more.
We need more.
Wow.
So we just kept banging away at it.
He knew that if there was anything else out there, if there was any other information he could get, that he was going to go out there and dig again.
And there, in one of the dozens of binders Detective Leslie had filled with notes, he spots a name. It's a baggage handler who worked with Brown, and he was never interviewed.
He was able to locate a witness who recalled back shortly before Lauren was murdered how the defendant would complain about the child support payments.
I think the comment was something to the effect of, wouldn't it be nice if we could just kill him and get rid of him?
With that witness, they headed back to trial for a third time. But would that one witness be enough to tip the jury?
As you're there for the third trial and the jury goes out, what's going through your head?
Obviously, I hoped for justice and wanted us to win.
You must have been really nervous.
Everyone was on edge.
This time, it takes the jury just over 36 hours to reach a verdict.
And what's the verdict?
With the jury in the above entitled action finding defendant Cameron Brown guilty of the crime of murder in the first degree.
Guilty on all counts.
Even jury members rejoiced.
For all the pain she has been going through, I'm sorry for your death of your baby, but justice has finally been served.
Could you believe it?
No.
After 3 tries, you finally got guilty.
We finally got her guilty.
I think that I heard Sarah sobbing in the audience. I looked at the detective who was sitting next to me, and there was just an overwhelming sense of relief that justice had finally been done.
The prosecutor says that when it came to sentencing is when you became visibly emotional in court. What was going on?
I think it finally set in. Sorry, I guess it still does. I remember when I turned over my shoulder and looked directly at Sarah.
Who's sitting here right now.
Who's sitting here. We just kind of made eye contact like we did it. And we're done.
It was a long, emotional 15-year fight for justice for Lauren.
Yeah, I told you we weren't going to give up. No. I think I told you that from the beginning.
I believed you. Yeah. I believed you.
And just when he thought he could rest, Detective Leslie found himself in another battle. This one for his life against an aggressive form of blood cancer.
And how are you doing?
I'm doing okay. I have good days and bad days. Been through a lot of treatment, a lot of chemotherapy. Had a bone marrow transplant. My son was my donor. I think I was on my deathbed a couple of times.
He's probably the toughest guy mentally and physically I've ever known in my life. There's no quit in him. Lauren's case shows you that. Yeah, there's no quit. He's not going to give into this thing.
I would like to thank Detective Leslie from the bottom of my heart for his loyalty, his hard work and dedication, because without this, there would be no justice for Lauren.
And I'm honored right now to be joined by Detective Jeff Leslie from the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department. First of all, Jeff, how you feeling?
I'm good.
Good. What's the latest on the cancer?
The cancer is in remission. I'm just trying to get my strength back. I'm at about 80% right now.
What haunted you most about this case?
I think it was more frustration than anything. We never had that smoking gun.
What was it like when you finally heard that third jury say guilty?
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Quite a relief.
At the time of the murder, Lauren was the same age basically as all your kids. How much did that drive you?
Substantially. I looked to them and their behaviors, especially Jack, and what he would have done and wouldn't have done, and he's a pretty athletic little kid.
And that was a key to solving this case?
Yes.
Speaking of your son, Jack, he's with us right now. I don't want to bring him on set here. Jack, thanks for being here.
No problem.
We know a lot about your dad, the detective, but tell us about him as a dad.
He's been a great father my entire life. He's my ultimate role model. He taught me pretty much everything. It's a blessing having a father like that.
You going to follow in his footsteps?
Yes, sir, I plan to. Hopefully I can become half the lawman that he is.
Well, we've got an initiative here at Crime Watch Daily that we call Badge of Honor. And I want to give you something right now for your initiative. And I know that the City of Hope is very important to you, and it's the very least we can do to give you this check for $5,000 for City of Hope.
City of Hope. That's fantastic. Battling my own form of cancer, I was diagnosed with 6 months to live, and that was about 2.5 years ago. But I had come to realize that not enough money went to the kids. That's where this money should be going, is to the kids and cancer research for them.
Jeff, thank you very much. Jack, take care of your old man, will you?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, if you would like to nominate someone for our Badge of Honor, just contact us at crimewatchdaily.com. We'll be right back. I'm Chris Hansen. If you like this story, make sure you tune in every day to Crime Watch Daily. You can find where the show airs in your city at crimewatchdaily.com. Watch it live or record it on your DVR and watch it at night. And to all those criminals out there, remember, we are watching.